we just had the screencast demo of previewing the changes to shared components inside the consuming application. Now we'll look at how to create a bundle and publish that. Create a bundle when we're ready to publish a new version of the shared components to NPM. So we have these changes here in our shared components library from earlier when we were automatically building any changes that were happening, and then those were getting pulled in from our consuming application. The way that they're being built is through a command that we have in our package.json, which calls rollup, which is a tool maybe similar to Webpack but more geared towards publishing libraries, whereas Webpack is more geared towards, I would say, building applications. So we have a rollup config file here, and we are making sure that we create two versions of our build, a CommonJS build and an ES module build. And we are specifying some rules here to make sure that we don't add any dependencies to this build that the consuming application might also rely on. For example, React, React-DOM, Emotion, Motion Style, MUI. So we have listed those down here in our dev dependencies and our peer dependencies, but they are not up here in our app dependencies. So when a consuming application installs our package, they will not be getting a duplicated version of React or any of these other libs, which will definitely cause problems in when bundling and trying to figure out which version of React should be used and resolved by Webpack. So that's this rollup config file, and that automatically gets picked up by this build lib command. So again, earlier we were automatically running this command when any changes happened. We ran this build on change command, which looked for any changes, ignoring the dist directory because the dist directory is going to change every time we build. And then it was running npm run link publish for testing, which runs npm run build lib and pushes it to Yawk. So now that we're ready to publish, we really just care about building the library, building the files into the dist directory, and then pushing those to GitHub and pushing those to publishing to npm. So right here, make sure that our on change is no longer running, and we're ready to build. So let's just remove these changes to dist index, discard, and yeah, we have our theming changes that we previewed earlier. So we can run node env equals production npm run build lib, which will trigger rollup and output the build to the dist directory. Cool. Now let's commit this, and let's bump the package version. There's definitely a more automated way to do this that we can look at in the future, but this is just the old bare minimum. So okay, now we'll run npm publish. So you can see here that version 8 was just published.